Ufuk, can you just confirm what the goal is with Oscar Zavada? Will he be joining you?
At this stage, no. There's nothing happening back at home at this moment, so most likely he won't be with the group.
So what's the plan to replace him?
The plan is we've still got Costa to come back in. We've got OVH to take that role as well. So we still have a few players that can fill that role. And like I said, it is what it is. We can't change the fact that his wife is going to have a baby soon. Maybe it would have helped if we had a home game. Would have made it easier for us. But obviously, take him over to Adelaide is a long way away if something does happen back at home.
How much of a loss is he?
Yeah, a very important player for us. He's been influential with our games. He scores goals for us to win games. So, yeah, like I said, he's an influential player, but it is what it is. That's why we have a squad and that's why we have depth.
And you've taken Clayton over. Is he back earlier than you had initially thought?
Yeah, he's back probably a week earlier than what we anticipated. I think we gave him a goal of probably trying to get ready for if he had opportunity to play for the All Whites. But no, he's been training with the team the last couple of weeks, modified still. But it'll be only a few minutes that we can put him on the park, not for a full 90 at this stage. But I think it'll be good to possibly get some minutes in his legs leading into the All Whites camp.
So is the plan that you will give him some minutes?
Well, we'll see how the game goes. If the game's going the way that we like, then if we need to make a change, we'll need to make a change. I only like making changes according to how the game is going. But look, there's no plan at the moment that he will get on the park, but we'll see how the game goes.
And it was announced yesterday that Auckland could be getting an A-League team. Do you think New Zealand has enough depth to have two A-League teams?
Yeah, I think the depth is there. I think our academy carries a lot of weight in trying to give opportunities to players and produce players. I think Auckland is a big city. I think there's a lot of obviously teams up in Auckland and been a bigger population up in Auckland. So I think that's another pathway for young Kiwis to be able to apply their trade and get opportunities to play at this level. So will it work? We'll only find out once it starts.
Yeah, do you think it's a good idea?
Look, I think it's a good idea. I think it'd be great in the sense that we'll have a derby in New Zealand. We'll have a competition with another team, and I think having another team. I think both teams will have to work harder to be able to secure players and provide opportunities. And like I said, and if they do things well with a good academy, provide more opportunities for younger players coming through.
And what's your plan for dealing with Aaron Kunda, who's sort of lighting up the A-League at the moment?
Yeah, look, he's been doing well. He's been more so doing well in cameos and coming off the bench and making an impact. Will he start? I'm not too sure. If Carl will start him. So look, he's a good player. He's a young player. He's an energetic player. For us, our fullbacks will whichever side he plays on, we'll have to deal with him. So he's not the only player on the park. They've got Goodwin as well. They've got some good players. Ibusuki, if he's back from his concussion. So they've got some good players all over the park. It's going to be a challenging game, but look, we've had some good results against them previously. The 10-men game, we possibly could have won, conceded late, and we won our last home game against them. So it's going to be another tough challenge, and I love coming to Coopers. I think it's a great atmosphere with the stadium and the crowd, and we're playing against a good opposition.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks.
Ufi, what's more daunting, Coopers Stadium or Amy Park?
I don't think any of them are daunting, to be honest, Andrew, but I think I like the atmosphere more at Coopers at times because it's a real football stadium. The crowd is just right around the field, which makes it a fantastic atmosphere. And the Adelaide fans are generally very boisterous. They support their team well. So, it's a great atmosphere to be involved in.
I guess they both have been hard places for the Phoenix to travel to. I think at Coopers, it's 4 wins out of 23. Over the years, how much determination is there to try and change that tomorrow?
Yeah, look, I think my first year we beat them 2-1, if that's correct. So look, like I said, for me, it's a fantastic atmosphere to be involved in. I think the players should relish in that, regardless of being an away game. So, and Adelaide's in good form at the moment by winning games. So it's going to be a challenging game, and we know as a team and the group knows that if we pick up 3 points, at where it puts us on the table.
Yeah, if we fast forward a few months to June and say we took Chiefy and put you in charge of pulling together the squad for an Auckland A League side, Would you find that exciting or would you find that daunting?
Uh, Probably more exciting than daunting, but it's a very big hypothetical that you're working off, Andrew, at the moment. So I haven't put myself in that position. But look, it's not the first time for me. I'll say as an example is putting a team together. It's not one of the easiest things to do as a coach, but it's been done previously, and we've done it for my 4 years being here. Players have gone and new players have come in, and we always try to find the right players that fit into what we want to do. So when they do come in, whoever takes that role within that, it has to do that. So it's a challenge, but I think it's an exciting challenge.
Yeah. Just to be clear, I'm not suggesting you're about to run off and become the coach of the Auckland team. Just talking generally as a coach.
Look, as a coach, sometimes it's not bad getting a clean slate and then trying to find the players that fit into what you want to
do. Just in speaking of recruitment, though, Oscar has got 12 goals so far this season, and his career before this, he'd only ever scored 13 senior first team league goals. Do you remember how you he came across your radar?
He was put forward to us earlier during the off season, but we had a look at a lot of different players at that time. And then, we kept watching him, especially we do a lot of work with Logan and Chiefy as well, and looking at players. And when we do look at a player, we don't look at him once. We looked at him a few times, 3-4 times. We've gone back through his footage and what he's done and stuff like that. And then I had an hour and a half conversation with him over the phone before we even signed him to see where his head was at and what he wanted to achieve. For me, these things are very important, that you want to bring players that have the desire and hunger to be successful. And he liked what I said about the way we play and how we want to set up and where we saw him within our team. And then we got him over the line, which was very important. And he's come, with the right mindset to be successful. And at the end of the day, the players are the ones that do the work. We're the ones that guide them into what they need to do. And look, as most foreigners do, they start off a little bit slow until they adapt to their surroundings. And now he's on a roll. And it's disappointing that he's not here for this game with us, but like I said, it is what it is, and he'll do what he needs to do back home, and then hopefully he'll be available for the next game.
And just on Sam Sutton as well, is he back in the squad tomorrow night?
Yes, Sam's back, so he's trained with the group as well. So it was a short turnaround after the Auckland game anyway, but he was doing some stuff with the group and modified last week, but he's done full sessions with the group this week, so he's back in the squad.
And just on Finn Sermon, is he fit and available at the moment?
Yes, he is.
Heading into the under-23s next week.
Yes, he's fit and available. Yesterday, I think Bays was down in Wellington. I think they had a group of the 20s playing a game, so Finn played in that game for him as well. So he'll be available for the 20s camp.
No, cool. Thank you.
Just following on from Andrew's question about, if you were hypothetically building a squad, I guess the interesting thing though is if a coach did come take an Auckland team, say the Phoenix have already got your squad sorted, do you think that you could build a competitive New Zealand squad with what's left over, either free agents, guys in the National League, or players that are playing abroad? Because I guess that's sort of the question about depth is, assuming the Phoenix would still have a squad of players and it would be a totally new team.
Look, I think, Phil, the way you got to look at it is you just got to look at the market. You also got to look at the market of the current Kiwis that are overseas that are probably not getting as much game time as they would like. I think there's still enough talent pool of Kiwis that are currently probably in New Zealand and basically overseas as well. You got to have to look into the Australian market, and you're allowed to have 5 visas. So I think to put a squad together, I think the work needs to be done. A lot of hours need to be spent of finding players, but I think there is enough depth, and I think there might be enough opportunities to find these players.
Cool. That's all the questions I had.
One last one from me. Callum Elliott's obviously heading into the All Whites. I reckon he's a good chance to make his debut. Obviously, your first season, he barely played, if he played at all, before COVID sort of arrived, and then he had that great little period, but then went off to Greece, came back. I'm just wondering, could you sum up your journey with him sort of as a coach and seeing him develop? And he seems like he's someone who's really put the work in and, been able to seize his chance, even when there's been a few moments along the way where it looked like he might have been one of those players who drifts off into the New Zealand domestic league.
Yeah, look, Cal was with us the first season. You got to understand we had Luke DeVere and Stephen Taylor as our central defenders. So we pushed Payne out onto the right hand side. I still think Payne can do a job at times in that right fullback role. This season, you know, when Cal got some game time towards the back end of that first year, went to Greece, came back. And look, for us, Cal, we always knew defensively, I thought he was fantastic in 1v1 situations. He covers the ground well. And one thing that he's added to his game is actually getting forward and delivering balls. So I think he's got 4 assists this year, if I'm correct, for the team. And he also got a goal, which is very important for us. So look, he's grown. I think he understands the role a lot more. And I think he's added to his game by actually getting forward and getting to the right areas to deliver balls to the box to create scoring opportunities. So players, we provide the information, Andrew. Our players are the ones that need to take it on board and then go out and execute it on the park. And I think so far he's done a fantastic job and he's been very consistent for the group.
I think he's one of very few players who were there in your first season who are still there now. Obviously, there's been a lot of turnover. You know, just in terms of when you see growth in players you've worked with, how much growth have you seen in him compared to, I guess, others over the years?
Yeah, look, I think in the terms of growth as well, I think he's matured as an individual as well. I think I was a little bit younger my first season. That's 3 seasons ago. So I think he's matured as well. And like I said, I think once the opportunity is provided, it's very important that the player takes that opportunity. But also once the opportunities are provided and they get consistent game times, I think it enables them to grow as well and gives them more opportunity because, you know, training is important. Training is what leads us into and prepares us for the game. But I think most of the experiences come from game time.